Hi, this is Adekyn with another Grand Ages Rome campaign mission video. This one is part one of the two Quaestors, and this mission is pure economy, but one of your bonus objectives is to keep your popularity up the whole mission. So that means that our forum tax is not going to really be readily available to us to help us get our early economy going. So we're going to have to do a good build with and get some early religion and also some early trade in order to keep from running in the hole in our economy. So looking at the map, it's a very rich map. There's lots of resources. There's gold, iron, marble, lots of stone, everything you'd want. There's three, as I'm pointing to, three land trade milestones out there to get trade routes. We're playing this one as a Valerius who already has a couple of trade routes always open. We're at the point in our development where we have two of them. There's potentially a third one that we'll be grabbing later on as we get more talent points. But this one is like most where you inherit a map. You've got to figure out what's going on. You can see right here we have seven houses in crime, and there's the obvious reason: we have no food going in. So let's see what's going on with the food. So we'll draft our Hastati and send him up to capture that first land trade milestone, and then we'll work on the food. And we can see we don't have the meat from a pig farm coming in, but before we can attack that, we've got to get our production going. We've got to have materials coming in so we can build. So that's the first thing we want to do. So we're going to lay down a couple of log camps and get those staffed. And you'll notice I did those on pause, then unpaused and paused right back, because you got to, when you build those buildings, and I've got that talent where the first five are built instantly, you've got to unpause in order to staff them. Otherwise they're just sitting there unstaffed and you're not getting the benefit from them. So you just kind of unpause and then pause again. So I had to build a brickwork and get it working so I could build more insula. So now I've got now I'm down up to two logs and a brick, and we've, as we've said on other videos, a good start would be two log, two brick, one stone. That's a good way to start a mission. So that's what we're going to try to get going here first. And as we go on, as we need more, we'll build more logging camps and more brickworks. But that's a good start. So now we're going to get our flour going to get the wheat so we can have some food going. And now that we've got enough materials coming in, we can go ahead and build our pig farm and get that market going, producing food. And you'll notice that placement of that pig farm, I didn't put it right on the farm because I wanted it over here to make sure it would be in the radius of these insulae to staff it. Your farms don't have to be right next to the fertile land. So now we're going to make sure we get a temple fairly early so that we can get some income from that temple, because as I said, we can't use the tax, so we're going to have to rely on religion and trade to keep our economy going, particularly early until we can get the more advanced religious builds where you have just a lot of denarii coming in. So let's go ahead and make these people happy and get them started producing goods so we can get trade. So we'll do butcher-baker combination, and that'll give us the opportunity to get our goods going. We can open up trade routes and go with the trade and be in great shape. So now I'm putting in wine, a grape farm, because I like to use that butcher baker inn tavern, and we need that wine for the tavern. Or is it the inn? One of the two. The tavern, I think. So we need that wine, and we're also going to get a school in here because we, of course, want to get our research going a little faster, because at the end of the day, we want to build 3 prefectures and a courthouse, and of course we have to research courthouse. So now we're trying to get some early trade going, but I changed my mind, said that's a good spot for the forum. And I do have the talent which allows you to build the forum instantly, and it doesn't cost any denarii. That's a very good talent. It's not quite up there with Tribune of the Plebs, which we haven't quite gotten to yet, but it is a great one to have, and it just speeds up your whole development. It allows you to move so much more quickly into your upper class and middle class and upper class buildings, and of course saving that 1,000 denarii can be huge early in a mission when you're trying to scrape by on the money that you have. So we're going to build our prefecture. So we have to build 3 in the mission. There's the first one. And what we're going to do in this mission, basically our strategy will be to build multiple communities, each one with a prefecture, so we won't have any trouble getting our prefecture goal. And those multiple communities will, of course, give us more goods to trade and more income as we build more religion. So each one will be worth quite a bit of money to us as we build them out. And we're going to, and like in any mission, you follow the water. The water really dictates where you're going to build, and that's just and that's I like that because that's very realistic. That's the way towns are built. Back in this day, they followed where can I build water and do I have transportation to bring goods in and out to set up trade and what have you. So it's very realistic from that point of view. Now, every time you have a building that has a problem, check it and fix it immediately. So we're going to give staffing for that tavern, and we're also going to see what other issues it might have. But anytime you have a building that in the original version of Grand Ages Rome is black, darkened like that, you want to fix that right away. In the expansion, of course, they give you those flags over top of the buildings with problems, which I like because they're easier to spot. But either way, you've got to fix your problems. Now here I made a slight goof. I've realized now, this is very important, by the way, that you put water in. I've talked about water, but you inherited this when they didn't have a fountain. So I found a nice little spot to put a small fountain, but it doesn't quite cover everybody. So I decided to demolish that Adekyn house, and then right after I hit demolish, I said, "Oops, I want to go ahead and build down here toward the ports." So I really didn't have to demolish that building, but that's okay. I just built it, replaced it, and now I'm going to go down here and set up another fountain for our second community, which will be down along the port line here, and that'll give us the ability to set up sea trade if we want to, and it'll just give us another nice spot to build another set. And here you're going to see kind of a classic butcher, baker, inn, tavern prefecture around a fountain to kind of establish the center of a community, the kind of the downtown area, if you will, where everybody goes to shop. And around that we'll put our religion and then circle it all with housing. And you can see how we develop it. Butcher, we're going to put an inn in here, comes the inn, so that we can get our entertainment going, and we'll just keep building that up. We've got really good goods production because we have quite a few insulae up there, so we won't have any problem going ahead and staffing these buildings with equites. And you'll notice there that I upgraded the farms. I think in any economic mission, you probably want to alternate your research between technology and architecture, and don't get too stuck on the architecture one. It's great to have all those buildings, but technology is extremely important. Now here's how you kind of define the outer edge of your community. I check that butcher baker, the farthest one to the left, and kind of see where its influence goes, and then I get a mental image of that and build my insulae out there. So now I can build insulae, and then the buildings that they're going to support, in this case trade posts, are built just outside that. So I'm still saving that room in the middle to put some more temples and what have you. So now we're just establishing trade. Again, it's all about getting some kind of an economy going early, and because I've got these trade routes and I've been capturing trade routes, I'm starting to trade, and I'm just looking to see what's the best thing that I can trade right now, and it still looks like it's going to be good. So I'm going to end up trading and setting up 3 trade routes, each one of them selling goods, each one of them making me, I believe it was 192 denarii per minute. So that's a good little income, and that's gonna keep us going with that trade income and with some religion income from our Saturn temples, because we're going to build another one here in just a moment, and that's going to give us a good income that will allow us to continue steady building. And then of course, as we get really developed and start getting into our patrician builds and more temples, and the research opens up those better temples for us, we're going to really, then money will no longer be a problem. But at the beginning it is, and you have to be careful to resist the temptation to hit that tax on the forum, because if you do and you run your popularity down too low, you're going to lose your bonus at one of your bonus objectives. So now we've got a little problem here where we've got some crime in a couple of those equites houses, and it's just because they don't have any religion and they're low on entertainment. So we're going to eventually fix that by setting up this temple, and as soon as the resources are available to build, we'll build a little more entertainment there, a tavern, and staff that, and then all those guys will be happy. Hope this has been helpful for you so far. We're going to pick it up in part 2 and continue our build.